So late last week, videos of Rachel Zegler just trash talking Disney and Snow White went viral, and the internet did not disappoint, making sure everybody knew what her actual thoughts on the movie were. But since then, it's gotten worse for Disney because Rachel Zegler's controversial statements are going to sink Snow White remake. But that's not the only problem for Disney, because now they're running damage control, trying to figure out how to get her to shut up, quit talking about it, and figure out how to make this movie actually make money. Branding experts warn Rachel Zegler backlash could ruin Disney's big budget Snow White remake and predict executives will be having crisis talks in order to win back fans ahead of 2024. Yeah, the fans aren't coming back. You've ruined too much. But before we get into the article, guys, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you drop me a like. Make sure you share this video out. And don't forget, all my links are below. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Locals, and you'll stay up to date with notifications because YouTube doesn't like this content getting out. But let's get into the article. The 22-year-old actress has received plenty of backlash after she admitted that she hated the original 1937 movie and branded the storyline weird, while referring to Prince Charming as a stalker. Yes, I covered that in my last video where she said it was weird, how the dude was a stalker, how she hated but loved the movie and used to dress as the princess. I honestly think some shitty PR team's behind all that going out, but moving on. The big budget Disney movie is scheduled for release in March 2024. And now it has been predicted the execs will be having crisis talks in order to do some serious damage limitation following the negative response to Rachel's stance. Which one? She's taking both sides. She's pissing everybody off. As well as being labeled a fake feminist, some critics accuse Rachel of gaslighting, and one marketing consultant has warned that Disney will need to be careful with how they portray Snow White. I mean, at that point, they'd have to remake the entire damn movie. They've already gotten rid of all the dwarves. They've made them the merry band of 7 diverse people, and they got rid of the prince. The only thing Snow White about it is the title. Speaking to Daily Mail, branding expert Carla Spate said, while it's been clear that the original Disney princess film holds up values, Disney has fallen for the trap of going to the opposite extreme to inflict strong and loaded messaging on the viewers, believing that's empowerment. This person needs a job at Disney and they need to listen to him. There was a time when Disney actors were media trained and were thoughtful about the impact of their words, while sticking to the key messaging about the films. But it seems with this total rewrite of Snow White, picturing her as a boss girl has gone to the heads of their stars. Well, that's all they're in it for anymore, is to get a big head. That's why we don't have movie stars anymore. It's something I keep repeating. We don't have action stars. We don't have any of it. Most of these people don't care about the movies. They just want to be on the screen to make money. Like I think I said it before in one of my other videos. Tell me a movie star over the last 10 years that's done a ton of movies that everybody's gone to see. And I think I did caveat that with they have to be new, right? Like even with Cavill, nobody's like, oh, it's a Cavill movie. It's going to be great. They're just like, okay, we'll go watch. Disney will need to be careful with how they have portrayed Snow White and what they do and don't allow their actors to say going forward. That should already be in their contracts. I don't think it's not there. I think they're just not enforcing it. They simply cannot repeat the same mistakes and allow their actors to be so vocal in their own personal opinions during promotions. But that's all it is. That's what the entire movie is. That's why they hire these weirdo feminists, because that's what they're actually promoting. I think I take back my previous statement of they should hire this person. I think this person might understand business, but I don't think they understand what's going on with the movie industry. Because if this wasn't her own opinion, they wouldn't have rewritten Snow White as a boss girl. They'd have it almost a remake of the original. Of course, they change dialogue, do whatever. But if this wasn't their message, they wouldn't have changed the movie. So they go on to say they should highlight the important message that it's okay to be who you want to be. After all, Disney has been famously telling us they're the place where dreams do come true, and have never actually defined what those dreams should be. Neither should their actors. They have them. They clearly have. When all their movies are about denigrating men and making women the strongest possible thing who are better than men, your message is very clear on what you stand for, and that dreams only come true for women, which is why nobody's buying your shit. But this PR moron, Nick Ed, has one of the most moronic takes I've ever heard. But before we start reading, I know there's a bunch of guys watching. I'll just leave this screen popped up there for a few seconds. I'll let you soak it in. I get it. But he goes on to say Rachel isn't the best person to promote the film. I don't think this film should be promoted at all. I don't think it should be made. But he says, despite playing the main character, like that's gotta hurt. We know you're the main character, but you can't talk about this movie because nobody wants to hear you talk. He says, Rachel is a big name star. No, I didn't even know who she was. Again, no movie stars nowadays. They're all just actors and actresses playing one of the world's most famous fairy tale characters immortalized by Disney. But instead of taking the lead of the Little Mermaid's Halle Bailey and embracing her role, Rachel has actively chosen to spoil the narrative and express the new direction she has taken with Snow White. Again, she's playing both sides. One time she says she hates it, one time she says she loves it, and she dressed it up as Snow White. So he goes on, I am sure Disney execs must be having crisis talks and thinking that perhaps their new Snow White isn't the best person to promote the film and ensure it is a box office success. It's not going to be one. It's just not. At this point, who believes any movie Disney makes is going to be a box office success? Like, can anybody honestly say with everything they've put out over the last couple of years and how much money they've lost, they're going to do a successful movie? So here we go with the copium and Barbie and how I said they wouldn't understand why Barbie was a success. The negative press may entice people to see what all the fuss is about, but unlike the recent Barbie movie, which features brilliant feminist and empower messages, which we only discovered upon viewing. No, we knew that before. I called it. I called it. They don't understand what they made. They accidentally made a success. It feels like the cat has been let out of the bag and we already have an opinion on the film thanks to Rachel's narrative. No, everybody knew what Barbie was before. Everybody did. Because if we didn't, why was Mattel putting out press releases saying it's not a feminist movie? But we would have all the actors and writers telling us it was a feminist movie. We already knew what it was. They were coping. Barbie was an accidental success because they made a movie about women for women. But I knew it. I called it when the Barbie movie came before the Barbie movie came out. I was like, this is going to be a success and it's going to do well because it is a movie for women, targeted and directed at only women. But they don't get it. They just think it had a feminist message. That means it's going to do well. If it had a feminist message, every other movie that's been made in the last 3 years would be making them billions. But it's not. God, these weirdos. Speaking alongside her co-star Gal Gadot, 20 blah, 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 blah. Said she's not going to be rescued by the prince. Yeah, she called him a weirdo and a stalker. But already did that one. She's dreaming about becoming the leader, fearless, brave, true. Yep, already covered that in another video. But she chose to respond to this. Are you also just like exhausted all the time? I am so exhausted. I think it's over for me, to be honest. I hope so. I hope you disappear to obscurity and everybody forgets who you are. Because you just couldn't keep your mouth shut. Like, regardless of the leaks, if she had kept her mouth shut, I don't think it would have been a success, but I think it would have made okay money. Maybe broke even because it's Snow White. And regardless of Disney and all the backlash, how nobody wants to see any of their stuff and how everybody's disappointed with every movie they've made, they might have gone to see it. No, I take that back. Nobody was going to go see that when they wiped the 7 dwarves that made them the 7 diverse merry men. This movie's going to be a disaster. It's going to be great. This movie's going to be a disaster. I'm going to enjoy like covering the fallout from it next year. But guys, that's going to be it for this video. Make sure you leave me a like. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this video out. And again, I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. In case you haven't noticed, I respond to everybody. It takes a little bit of time. But guys, remember, be easy like sleazy, and I'll catch you on the next one.